I'm curious for all of you, what was the first time you sort of saw yourself represented in pop culture, whether it was a queer artist or a straight artist or a musician or other kind of celebrity? What were sort of the first kind of moments of seeing some form of entertainment and thinking, that's me, like I feel seen?
Tegan and Sarah was like my big influence because they were cool and edgy, but then they still wrote really good music. Like they were bops that people say now. They were bops. And I just remember I was like, that's me. Like I want to be cool, but I want to do pop music. And I want to write music that you just can't get out of your head. And that to me was this like opening that narrative and that door for me to be myself.
For me, it was Sylvester. Sylvester was an icon that I looked up to, and always wanted to be like. And he was just fierce, and being himself all the time. And when I used to listen to some of Sylvester records, and me and my uncle, he taught me a lot about Sylvester. It just opened so many doors for me just to be myself and just get out there and live my truth. So Sylvester for me, and also RuPaul.
I don't know. I just feel like now, I think with events like this, a lot of the creators are being able to be shown and showcased and get, their recognition for what they do. And I just feel like the artists that we've been supporting just needs to support us as well on their platform and let them know that, I don't know. It's hard to say this is where I'm getting my swag from, you know what I mean? Because if you guys found out, then you guys would go and see the source. But it's like, people just need to be open and say, because I feel like the queer culture has been pushing a lot of the hip hop and R&B culture. And it's just a lot of people behind the scenes, as in the makeup artists and the fashion designers and all these people, they don't really get their recognition. And everybody is kind of praising the artist on stage. And the artist on stage never really tells about the team. And so the team is really the queer team that's making it look so majestic. So
We all, I think, no matter who you are or where you come from, we all just want an opportunity to be heard and to share our stories and to find our people. And so, releasing Curious, I didn't think that was directly made for frat boys specifically, but I do think as a musician, as an artist, we all go through love and loss and lust and, sometimes depression and all these things. And like, that's what connects all of us. And so no matter what your sexuality is, why should we be put in a box? We all have those same feelings. We all get heartbroken. So why are we different?
For a long time for me, the music was just captivated in New Orleans. And so I performed the first 10, 12 years of my career doing homework in New Orleans and getting people to like me and to understand me. And for the most part, I had all the girls in New Orleans. I had all the women around New Orleans. And it was a journey to get the men to like it. So once like you said, the frat boys, it was the guys for me that once the guys was like, oh yeah, you bring all the women, you make all the girls shake their ass. So, I learned that once I got all the girls, the guys will follow. So I kind of knew what I needed to do.
I mean, you guys were talking about how a lot of the time it can feel like a cycle of like, oh, we're getting this press and they're doing these things, but somehow there's still all this homophobia and transphobia in the media as well. And so I was wondering, like, as artists in the song industry, how you guys kind of navigated that line.
That's a great question. I mean, I know for me, it kind of harkens back to the boyfriend story. I mean, ultimately, we just always talk about it. We bring it up in every meeting. We talk about it, in our own organization. We talk about it in the press. We talk about it on stage. And I mean, ultimately, I think it's not like any of us have the answers on how to fix it. But I think we want to participate in trying to, basically disrupt and rebuild the system. And I do think that it feels very much like that is what we're trying to do as an industry. I think we are all trying to look at all of the systemic problems that are still within this, in the music business and talk about it. I don't know if there are answers, but for us, it's just constantly bringing it up and making it uncomfortable. Sometimes at moments of real awesome, like great meeting, everything's going great, everyone's patting us on the back, and then Sarah will just lob something incredibly uncomfortable into the middle of the conversation. And I just think like, well, that's how you do it, just don't get comfortable and just keep disrupting.